Hey, what's up, guys? I'm back to cover the prize pick slate for today. I just posted the DraftKings and FanDuel picks. Yesterday, I posted the prize picks on Twitter. Went 3-1. Could have had the sweep if Al Horford gave us 6 more points, rebounds, assists. Finished with 22. We needed 27.5. But move on to today. Getting closer to that 4-0. Hopefully, we can get it today. We got some good numbers that I like. I think some of these will go up throughout the day. So let's get into it. As always, hit the like button if you enjoy the picks. You can check out all the description stuff down below. And let's get started. So first guy at the points board is Jimmy Butler at 25.5. He's played very well this series. He's been the best player for the Miami Heat by far in terms of just being able to score on an efficient clip, getting his teammates involved, getting rebounds, playing good defense. But it's tough for me to go to Butler at 25.5 when I have Embiid at 24.5. Now, Embiid hasn't been as solid as Butler throughout the series, but the Sixers are at home. It's a must-win game for them. 2 games ago, Embiid should have hit his number at 24.5 because he had like 15 heading into halftime, I believe. And the fourth quarter, it was when James Harden just took over. But in this one, Harden can definitely take over if he wants to. It's probably unlikely that it's going to happen multiple times in the same series, the way that Harden's played for the Sixers. So I think Embiid's going to have at least one monster game this series. He hasn't had one yet. He's probably due for it. Wouldn't be surprised if this number gets at least over 25.5, if not 26.5, by the time the slate starts. Bam at 16.5. He's done a lot better in the games in Miami. The games in Philly, he struggled a little bit. So he's okay because it's a pretty low number, but I just don't know if I can trust it. Harden at 19.5. Another guy that has done a little bit better when the games have been at home, 31-17. So that 31 definitely helped. A lot of that did come in the fourth. Strus at 11.5. He's another guy that had done a lot better for them in Miami. So a lot of these role players, it's tougher for me to go to them when they're on the road. I like them a lot more when they're at home. So I'm just going to focus on the guys that are at home that I think will win the games. I love Luka today at 31.5. Booker is a guy that you can always make an exception for. 27.5 has been their best player this series. Chris Paul is not shooting much. He's been a lot more passive, not aggressive the last few games for them. Dropped below 10 the last 2 games. So Booker has been capitalizing on that, been taking a lot more shots. We know him and Luka will go back and forth throughout the game. So both guys look good, but if I had to pick one, I would take the over on Luka. 31.5, going with the 2 superstars in a must-win game for both of them. Both at home should step up nicely. Doncic, 28 points for him, even though his team only scored 80 last game, lost to Minnesota blowout. So he could have easily hit that if the game was closer. We've seen him first 2 games in the series put up a combined 80. Last 3 he's fallen a little bit short, but still, that's not like he's completely fallen off. It's not like he's dropping below 20. He's going to get at least 25. Just a matter of him getting over 30, like 32, which we need. And that's definitely doable in what should be a close game at home, must-win game. Expect 40-plus minutes from Luka. So both these guys should have a lot of shot attempts, I believe. Brunson at 19.5. He's fine as well. He's hit he put up 28 and 18 in the games at home. So averaging right around 23 in the games at home. The series, I like his number at 19.5, but I like his teammates a little bit better. Finney Smith at only 11.5 is one I'll take the over on as well. He's going to be looking at 40 minutes, at least probably 41, 42 minutes. He's done fine throughout the series, except for that one game where he just dropped 2. The games at home, he's hit these numbers easily, 14, 24 the last couple of games. It's the games in Phoenix where he struggled a little bit. 2, 8, 15 in that first game was nice, but still have a lot more confidence in a guy like Finney Smith. Feeding off some of that energy that the Mavs fans give him. Did have that 8-3 performance at home, so at only 11.5 points. It's another one that I do like taking the over. And the Bullocks been a little bit cold for them shooting. 0 points last game, 7 the game before. But he's a guy that you could maybe take the 3s over on instead of the points. His 3 is only 2. So even if he gets you 2 threes, that's a push situation. And that sometimes can just be all that he takes. It's just 3-pointers. Maybe he makes it a couple of 2-pointers, but maybe 75, if not 80% of his shots are going to be 3s. Over at the assist board, I don't have much interest here. Like Butler's at 5.5. I think this is a solid number. Without Lowry, you're probably looking at like 6 assists. So I don't mind that number. If it was 6, it'll probably be more likely to be a push. So that's one guy that I like. Don't want to take the overs. You can't take the overs on Embiid. We got his points prop here. Bam at 3 assists. He's hit or miss. Being defended by Embiid, not the easiest spot for him to really... And it's not like they're going to be double teaming him where he's going to be looking to pass out of it. It's just a matter of him maybe like on screens, getting the ball and dishing it out to Hero, who hits a 3 or something like that. Don't have much interest in any of these guys. Like Harden, I can't trust his assist numbers. Tobias at 2.5. Doable, but still, it's not something that you can always count on. He did have that one big game where he almost had a triple-double, or was flirting with a triple-double, even though he didn't shoot well. And then Luka coming off just 2 assists last game, but that was with his teammates not shooting the ball well, and he only scored 80 points. Definitely a bounce-back spot, but I'm taking his points instead. And maybe Brunson at 3 assists is a pretty low number. You might be looking at over here or a push. Could be like a worst-case situation. He had 4 and 5 in the games at home for the Mavs, so that's one that I do like. Rebounds, Embiid's at 11 rebounds. He only had 5 last game. It's been a push. Otherwise, like 10.5 would be a lot better number to feel good about. Bam at only 7.5. This might be something interesting, but he's not done great against Embiid in terms of rebounding. We've seen Butler step up. He's only 6.5. He's a guy that has had 9 rebounds in 3 games already this series, so I don't mind getting to Butler there. One guy that I will take the under maybe on rebounds is like Tobias. It's not super safe, but we've seen 3 rebounds for him the last couple of games. Did have that one game where he dropped 10, and the other game in the series he had 6, which was a push if his prop was at 6 that game. But we've seen Embiid rebound a lot more recently, except for that last game where he just had 5. But also James Harden is rebounding, and Maxi's going to be crashing the glass a little bit as well. Like Maxi's had 3 rebounds back-to-back games, same number of rebounds as Tobias, for a guy that has at 6 instead of Maxi, who's at 3. And Harden, he's getting to the ball more off the glass and getting you some rebounds there as well, 6, 7, 8. So I'm taking the under on Tobias. That could bite me, but that's one that if you're looking for a 4th play, you can put in Tobias under rebounds. Other picks, Ayton has been right around that number, 10.5, maybe 9.5 will make me feel a little bit better. I like Finney Smith's number at 4.5, and Bullock at 4 has been like a push. You know, I don't really like these whole numbers, whether it's been in terms of rebounds or assists. Points, rebounds, assists. Butler's one that you can always take the over on. Same number as Embiid. He looks pretty good. He's done well. I mean, he's not new to playing in Philly. He played for them for half the year. A couple years ago, when they lost, when they should have won with that starting lineup that they had. Other picks, maybe Max Strus, 16.5. Maybe Gabe Vincent, 14.5. They haven't posted the numbers on like Tyler Hero or Victor Oladipo yet, and some of the other role players. So we could get some more better numbers as the day goes on. But don't have much that looks that appealing, except for maybe, Finney Smith looks good, but I'm taking his points at only 11.5. Reggie Bullock, if he's hitting his threes, that's something that could hit. And then DeAndre Ayton at only 29.5. This is one that should be pretty close to that. He's been Devin Booker just kind of taking over. So at 37.5, I think he looks a little bit safer. Something that looks a little bit better to me. 3 points made. It's going to be maybe, like Harden's now at 2, so I don't feel good about taking the under there. Strus at 3, maybe take the under. Hope that he maxes out at 3. Shot poorly last time they were in Philly. And Reggie Bullock is one that you can feel okay about. I mean, he didn't have any threes last game, but that's pretty rare for Bullock for the amount of threes that he takes not to hit any. So that's one that maybe worst case will be a push. Blocks and steals only. Bridges there. Don't have much on this board yet. Turnovers was just added by them. So this is pretty cool. Paul's not one that maybe can take the over on his turnovers. I mean, they're going to be playing some good defense there. Booker at 2.5 turnovers. He's had some games with 5. I think Paul might be interesting. He hasn't played really that well, and now they're on the road, so maybe he can take that. But turnover is still a little bit volatile. I don't know if I can feel great about trusting this too much, but the one I would take the over on would be Chris Paul. And that's it for the picks. So I got 4 that I feel all right about, especially the Embiid and Doncic. I think will definitely hit. Finney Smith should hit, and then Tobias. Hopefully he's not crashing the glass that much. But that's what I got for today. If you're looking for a 5th pick to put in here, it would be looking at the points, rebounds, assist for Devin Booker, 37.5. But if you're just looking for a 4 play these 4. that's what I got. Thank you for watching. Best of luck on the prize picks. Leave any questions down below. Try to answer them if I have time. And I'll see you all next time.